But I want us to briefly go to the National Commission for Civic Education, where there is a presser briefing us on where we have come. I mean, how far we've come since the Constitution 1992 was adopted.
Use it in favor of those who have and those who can raise money, thus excluding significant number of otherwise well-qualified citizens from contesting for political leadership. Again, in the situation like ours, where regulations around money in politics are either non-existent, too weak, or too poorly enforced, we stand the risk of attracting very dark and bad money into the political system. According to a recent study by CDD Ghana titled Understanding How Dirty Money Fuels Campaign Financing in Ghana, we know that the current cost of running for office as a member of parliament is approximately $700,000. $700,000. This is what the research by CDD found. That is how much it costs to organize oneself and try to run for office as an MP. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, $700,000 to become an MP, a job that definitely does not pay enough to recoup that money. The bulk of that money, by the way, goes to fund direct cash transfers to residents of constituencies, to citizens who have decided that that is more important than the vote that is in their hands. We are guilty of making extreme financial demands on those who offer themselves for public office. And then we get angry and disappointed when they are unable to deliver the public goods we expect. We are at a point where a major criteria for getting elected into public office is the candidate's ability to dole out cash to voters. It is time to own up to this terrible practice and commit to ending it. If we don't end it, it will end us. When we make the mistake of only electing those who distribute cash, gifts, and so on and so forth, we run the risk of exposing ourselves to dark and dirty money readily available in the world. And we will sell our country to forces we cannot even begin to imagine. Forces that will seize control either through existing structures or come through new structures that will declare themselves the Messiah. Fellow citizens, we must all be interested in how politics is financed in this country. We've talked about this issue enough. We see the impact. We see how it is destroying the democracy and the very fabric of society. It's time to stop talking or keep talking, but also do something about it. It is an unsustainable way to actually run a democracy, to have it this way where it is only money and money alone, for the most part, that guarantees access to public office. Remember, when you sell your vote, you compromise your conscience and betray your country. Studies show that vote buying and selling fuels corruption, undermines the principles of democracy, and denies competent candidates who can actually make a difference for the common good, deny them a chance. The other key thing that I want us to focus on and not lose sight of is the role of the media as we head into the election season, particularly when it comes to issues of fake news, misinformation, and disinformation. In this election year, as all other election years, the media is expected to play its important watchdog role. Chapter 12 of the 1992 Constitution is titled Freedom and Independence of the Media. Articles 162 and 163 outline the broad and liberal freedoms that ensure we will never again go back to the dark days of the culture of silence. Article 165 reinforces media freedoms by reiterating that media freedoms are additional to the fundamental human rights of all Ghanaians, as spelled out in Chapter 5 of the same Chapter 5 of the same Constitution. However, Article 164 provides that media freedoms and independence is subject to laws that are in the interest of national security, public order, public morality, and also for the purpose of protecting reputations of citizens, their rights and interests of other persons. Fellow citizens, the vibrant liberal media terrain we enjoy today is the result of struggle and sacrifice. People died so we can freely express our opinions today. Let us be constantly reminded of this fact so we don't take what we have for granted. Looking at the media landscape today, one wonders if media houses and practitioners regularly refresh their memories on Chapter 5 of the Constitution that is dedicated to them. I wonder because today it seems to me and to a lot of other observers that any shady character, especially one with financial resources to splurge, is welcomed with open arms by some media houses and given unfettered access to the airwaves. Today, it is rare to find high-quality, development-oriented discussions in the media. And of those that we can find, many have a clear partisan slant. Media houses, especially during the political season, should not allow misinformation, hate speech, personal attacks, highly divisive and provocative utterances, and sometimes extreme vituperation to be broadcast on their channels, as this leads to heightened tensions. We forget the power of the media and the example of the Rwanda genocide. Please, Ghana media, wield the power of media for good, for progress, and for elevated, development-oriented discourse. Of course, we cannot speak of spread of fake news, misinformation and disinformation, intemperate language and divisiveness without bringing up social media. By January 2023, internet penetration in Ghana is around 68%, with nearly 9 million users. If as a country and as a people, we were harnessing social media for personal advancement and public good, we will see a period of rapid growth and progress. Yet social media is rather used for every negative thing imaginable.
So you have Kathleen Ade, who is director of the National Commission for Civic Education. She's been hitting on some very key points that we need to actually deal with in the Constitution. She's been talking about responsibility of political parties. She's been talking about the responsibility of the media, which is clearly stated out in the Constitution. She's also been talking about social media, the cyberspace, and how well we can use it.